And now, last but not least, I'm going to pass the floor to our representative in Sudan. Massimo Diana is going to give us an update on the refugee situation due to the Tigray crisis. Massimo, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Salam alaikum, everyone, and welcome to Sudan. As Monica has opened, we are focusing now on the refugee crisis from the Tigray region, where over 50,000 people have already crossed the border and are in dire circumstances on the eastern part of Sudan. The situation in the camp remains extremely dire. Partners are working around the clock. But before I continue providing you the information, please allow me to introduce to you the frontline workers. A national NGO partner will now speak, and later on, a health worker will speak. Alvaro, please.
تم إنشاء عيادات مؤقتة بالمعسكرات لمجابهة طوارئ الصحة الإنجابية والعنف الاجتماعي القائم على النوع، وتم دعم العيادات المتنقلة الموجودة بالمعسكرات بحصص الولادة الآمنة. تم توزيع حصص النظافة الشخصية لكل اللاجئات الأثيوبيات في معسكري أم راكوبا وحمدايت. تم توزيع ودعم المستشفيات القريبة من المعسكرات زي مستشفى ود الحليو بكل ما يلزم لتقديم الخدمة المتكاملة، خدمة الصحة الإنجابية من معدات الولادة وحصص الولادة الآمنة والتعقيم وحتى تنظيم الأسرة. الفرق الآن متواجدة بالمعسكرين أم راكوبا وحمدايت لتلبية احتياجات اللاجئات الأثيوبيات، وخاصة فيما يتعلق بتقديم المشورة وتقديم خدمات العنف الاجتماعي القائم على النوع.
SORD, the Sudanese Organization for Research and Development, through generous support from UNFPA, established mobile clinic services in Hamadayit and Kilotamania areas, where almost 40,000 Tigrayan refugees arrive in Sudan through provision of primary health care, reproductive health services, and other referral services, as well as distribution of necessary medicine and drugs. Still, for the very huge number, the need is very high to access refugees to medicine, primary health kits for young ladies.
Thank you. And I would like to use a phrase, a term that Ashley used. As an FPA, we showed up to provide assistance. But while we were showing up, the frontline workers had already shown up. And we really want to take this opportunity to thank all the frontline workers and the generosity of the Sudanese people who have welcomed the refugees in the most time of dire need. The context in the camps is that over 50,000 people, across approximately 50,000 people have already reached the Sudan. And 1/3 of those are women of reproductive age. We also estimate that over 1,000 are currently pregnant, majority of whom are in their third trimester. This is in addition to the number of gender-based violence, sexual violence, or other violence cases that are being identified. We work in a strong partnership with the national government and the Commission on Refugees. We're working in coordination and complementarity with the UNHCR, the refugee agency, who is leading the refugee response. We are positioned as a strong operational agency to provide life-saving integrated reproductive health and GBV interventions, and we're also chairing the GBV sub-working group. Despite the generosity of the host community, the refugee response is placing a burden on an already weak system. Sudan suffers from a protracted crisis, regular natural disasters, and a weak infrastructure. We also need to ensure that in the work that we are providing, that we apply conflict sensitivity and that the refugee response does not bring more damage to the host community. We need to support, and we're working towards strengthening primary health care needs, medical facilities to have equipment, basic supplies, and crucially, GBV services that are also adapted to the language of the refugee population. We have supported a temporary clinic in the Amdayat Reception Center. We have already provided services to more than 5,300 women. We also partnered with other NGOs such as MSF and Mercy Corps in the distribution of clean delivery kits. We're supporting the referral hospital to cover the needs of women who may need either cesarean sections or experience pregnancy-related complications. We also reached more than 9,000 women with dignity kits, including also basic sanitary supplies. Another 18,000 kits are undergoing shipment as we speak. We also ensure that psychological first aid services, GBV awareness sessions are provided to refugees with a focus on women of reproductive age through the UNFPA supported clinics. What I would also like to highlight that the most important element of our ability to respond swiftly and effectively has been on the one hand, the prepositioning of supplies, but crucially, the availability of flexible and multi-year funding. This enables us to adapt quickly to accelerate the humanitarian response, particularly thanks to the donors who provide such flexible and multi-year financing, such as the UK and Sweden. Overall, for the response in Sudan, UNFPA is appealing for $40 million, and specifically for the response to the refugee crisis, we are appealing to close to $5 million given the current caseload. Thank you very much for your generosity, and thank you very much for your patience.